What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Twin Finance. My name is Dylan, and today we're going to be talking about a threat particular to the Canadian economy, which is where I live. So what this threat is going to be tariffs on automotive vehicles and auto parts made from Canada. And they're expecting it could be as high as 25%. That's a pretty high estimate. Might not end up being that high. But what this means for the Canadian economy is, if you guys don't know about Canada, or if you're in Canada, I'm sure you know, particularly in Ontario, but it's pretty widespread throughout Canada. But particularly in Ontario, there's a lot of automotive plants that make parts and vehicles. And what that means, guys, is there's a lot of jobs that could be affected by this, and I'll explain to you how. So let's say 25% tariffs on parts and cars, right, guys? So what does that do? What does that do for, let's say, GM, Chrysler, Ford? You know, there's plants like that in Canada all over. What does that do for them? Well, what that's going to do is either to make the same amount of money or be as efficient as they are, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to have to raise prices. They're going to raise the price, and then they're also going to fire employees. So they're going to fire. And why they're going to do that? Well, companies that are massive, and you know, it's about money, right, guys? It's a capitalistic society, so companies don't want to lose money, and they want to remain just as efficient, right? So the easiest way to do that, obviously, raise prices to get almost close to the same amount of revenue, because if car prices go up, people are going to be buying less cars. So but because they're going to have to raise the prices, but because they're also going to have to pay the extra tax, right? So they have to raise the price of the car, which means people are going to be buying less cars, so they're not going to be selling as much. So they're going to have to they can't just simply raise the prices and the problem's fixed, because people are going to not be buying as many cars if it's a more expensive car. Like, let's be honest, you're not going to just willingly pay $5,000 for a car that was, $5,000 cheaper last year. So you're just going to buy a used one. So they're going to sell less cars, so they're going to need to reduce their operating expenses even more, and the easiest way to do that is just lay off new employees, right? So a lot of those new employees that are just recent, they're probably going to get laid off, and they're expecting like, this is what they're expecting. I read an article on it earlier. So 25K to 30K. And also what this is dealer jobs, so that's car dealerships. So if you're selling less cars, guys, you're going to employ less salesmen, you know what I mean? And maybe shut down some dealerships, because maybe they're not selling cars because no one wants to buy those cars anymore, right? And then they're expecting 100K automotive plant jobs to be removed. Well, not removed, but laid off and whatnot, guys. So if look at these numbers here. If we're expecting 130K jobs to be erased, also we are expecting that if these taxes are imposed, $5,000 to $9,000 prices in cars are going to go up, right? So what is it going to do for the Canadian economy? Like I said, it's a big sector in our economy. It's really going to hurt us. So there's going to be less new cars bought. There's also going to be less new cars made, so less jobs. The economy, the money's not flowing around as smoothly, because people simply aren't buying new cars, and that's a big part of our economy. So if bigger companies are becoming smaller, like I said, less jobs, just less everything, guys. And what that's really going to do, that could be pretty big to the economy. Like I said, unemployment rates are going to go up, obviously, and whatnot. The economy's not going to fall off the map. Like, we're not going to no longer be a country. Let's not go that far, but it's definitely going to be a big hit. And a lot of people that do work at automotive plants, I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm saying look for other jobs if you're relatively new and these taxes are imposed, guys, because I don't want you to be on the streets not being able to provide for your family. So always have a backup plan, guys. Just make sure you're looking forward, never looking behind and whatnot, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took a ton of value. Don't go freaking running, just being super scared right now, guys. Like, this isn't for sure yet. I'm just proposing that we should just be aware of this maybe happening. So like I said, just keep up with the news. Look it up, Canadian financial news, you'll hear about it. And thank you for watching this video, guys. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and have a great day.